Tcoy216 3.0 here, back with another video from Psychology, Essential Thinkers, Classic Theories and How They Inform Our World by Andrea Barnier. And in my past two videos, I went over definitions from chapter 2, and now I will be finishing these definitions, starting with humanism. If you get too bogged down into psychosis or behaviorism, things can start to get a little bleak. Either you're just an animal whose life purpose is driven by inescapable base urges, or you're more like a machine and not in a good way. For many in the mid-20th century, those alternatives didn't feel right. Don't humans have something bigger to offer? What about the quest to become a better person, to write, draw, laugh, connect, create music? And can't altruism exist for a reason other than its ability to make us feel good about ourselves? Enter the humanists as a psychological school of thought. Humanistic psychology, sometimes called the third force after psychoanalysis and behaviorism, focuses on individual positive growth rather than on negative aspects and past baggage of the self. Its influence remains strong today. Concepts dealing with emotional intelligence, connection, empathy, purpose, and meaning all fit very nicely into the humanistic framework. Humanistic psychology has also led to a much more connected, supportive vibe between patient and therapist. In fact, the term patient is now often replaced by the term client. Equality between the therapist and client, demystification of the therapeutic process, and a more collaborative approach to the therapeutic work have been major thrusts of humanistic therapy. Group therapy also emerged from this framework. Just psychology. Have you ever seen a particularly good optical illusion? Perhaps a picture that looked at first glance like a vase, but then became the profile of two people, and your brain couldn't decide which image to see. If there's really supposed to be a one-to-one correlation between our mental representations of objects in the external world and the objects themselves, then you might ask why we can even have optical illusions. Just psychology is concerned with just that question: how we perceive the whole of an object, not just the discrete parts of which is composed. Just psychology can also be viewed as yet another departure from structuralism, since just psychologists emphasize that when things are broken down into excessively small components, something meaningful is lost. The term just cannot be translated perfectly from German to English, but its general meaning is that of a configuration of a pattern or interrelated ideas. In this way, just psychology is conceptually related to humanistic therapy, as evidenced in notions like self-actualization, which propose that essential components can build on each other in the creation of something that is quantitatively different, and many would say greater than the sum of the constituent parts. Most of all, just psychology is concerned with our efforts to organize aspects of the world in personally meaningful ways. By contrast with behaviorism, just psychology points that we place our greatest focus on our perceptions. Just therapy developed by Fritz Perls in the 1940s is not precisely aligned with the concepts of just psychology, but it does focus on the parts that we play in our relationship with others and how our relationships affect our emotions in the present. Just therapy is known for using a variety of role-playing techniques, including having the patient or client imagine that an empty chair holds a person with whom an issue needs to be worked through. Thank you everyone for following me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Tcoy216 here, 3.0. And as I always say, take care of yourselves. Peace.